Hi, I'm Kai Robinson with ProRank Business Solutions, and in this video, we're going to show you how to post a new job on the ProRank Academy job and project poster. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is come to the Jobs and Projects option on your menu bar. It has a little gear icon next to it, and just underneath of that, when you hover that without clicking, you'll see the Post New Job / Project. We want to click on that menu option. That's going to bring us to our Post a New Job or Project form. And you'll see information here that's telling you about the job type. And it's telling you basically that if you are going to be creating a job, which is going to be the first decision we need to make, whether we're going to be posting a new job or whether we're going to be posting a project. A job is going to be for employment of some term. And what we're saying a project is a search for freelance contractors or subcontractors. All right, so that's the difference. And that's what this is explaining to you up here. If you have questions, you can contact us and ask us questions. But that brings us to the first decision that we're going to make, which is selecting. And that brings us to your first option here, which is select job or project. Now, by default, this form is going to be set to a job, but you still need to set job here to select that option. And once you do, the next option that we have here is to select a job title. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is if I start typing, you'll see because I've done this in the past that I have other options that I could select from other, job titles or job postings that I might have put up there in the past. But you might not have that if this is the first time you're doing something or you're doing it anew. So I don't want you to think that this is a pre-selection of any kind of pre-populated options. These will pre-populate as you post jobs. And that way, if you have the name of a job or the title of a job and you enter a job once, then it will be saved in your list that you could actually use again, and these are some of the ones that I've done lately. So I just didn't want that to confuse you. But this is going to be a brand new job. It's going to be called a ProRank, we're going to call it Operational Sales Manager, all right? Okay. The location, we're going to make our location, I'm just going to say Harrisburg. Okay, we're going to have them working out of the Harrisburg office. Job type, we're going to keep it full-time employment, but this is where I wanted to show you. You still do have the option. Maybe it is a freelance contract position and you're looking for a subcontractor, then you can still make it a freelance contract, but most of the time it'll probably be employment. We have full-time selected, but we could make this intern, we could make this part-time, we could make this a temp position, or we can make it a contract position where we're just saying, we're looking for maybe prime contractors and you can make multiple. You can make it maybe for full-time or for, a subcontractor to come in here and, do some work for you. So it's up to you. You have the flexibility, but that's what that means, okay? So I just didn't want that to confuse you. And you can add them or remove them as you need to. Right now, what we're going to do is leave this for full-time employment, and you can enter a pay range, whatever you want to. We're just going to leave that blank for now, all right? Now, this is the important section. This is the description, all right? And what we're going to do is take the time to just run through the options that you have here to format your description of your job listing, all right? And the first option we have is a bold. We can make our text bold. We have the option to italicize. We have the option to strike through. We have the option to create a bulleted list. We have the option to create a numbered list. We have the option for block quotes. We have the option to align left. We have the option to align center. Option to align right. We have the option to insert links or edit links. The option to remove links, the option to insert read more tags. And this right here expands your additional options. This expands your additional options. This is the toggle to see all additional options or the next row of options that we're about to review, okay? You have your paragraph where you can actually create a heading, size font, or you have paragraph size font. You can underline. You can justify your text. You can paste text with the formatting or without the formatting. This is very important. We're going to review this in depth. I want you to remember this icon if you don't remember anything else that I'm showing you. This paste as text, this is where the magic happens, and I'm going to show you that in depth in a few minutes. You can clear formatting. You can decrease your indent. You can increase your indent. You can undo. You can redo. And you can look at keyboard shortcuts. Okay? So those are your edit options to edit the text that you put here, right? And this section is where the body of your actual job listing or your job post is going to go. All right. So the first thing that I want to just drive home is that you can copy and paste an existing job that you might already have. You might already have a job that's formatted. You might have a job template that's already written out that looks something like this, that is already spelled out, and you don't want to have to retype this again. That's a lot of work, right? And what we're going to do is show you how to get a job that looks like this to pretty much be a one-to-one in that description box that we were just showing you. All right. So that paste as text button that I showed you, that's going to be where the magic happens. All right. To save you a lot of time and effort. All right. So let's review exactly how to make that happen. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is get a blank notepad. All right. If you have it already as a PDF like this, all right, you want to get a blank notepad first. All right. And what you're going to want to do is copy this entire text, or the section that you want to put into the job post. If you don't want to put it all in there, it's up to you. But I'm just going to grab this whole thing. I'm going to show you how easy this is, right? I'm going to get this whole document. I'm not going to get I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to say copy. And then I'm going to paste it just like that, right? And by default, you might have a few kind of glitches in your notepad, all right? But this is why we're pasting this into a notepad first. You see how this is broken somewhat, demonstrated new? This is supposed to be backspace like that, right? This is why I'm telling you to paste this into a notepad first, so you can correct any glitches like this. The notepad will take out any artifacts a lot of times, and weird looking text, and typos, and just weird things that are going on. Here's another little, like, this isn't supposed to look like this. This is supposed to be more like that, right? And then this is supposed to be on one line like that. And you'll notice, because it's your stuff, let me expand this so that you could see it. This is a heading. It's supposed to be like that, all right? And this is why, if I wouldn't have pasted this onto the notepad first, this is another like broken. And this is sometimes funky things that PDFs do to make things look good that you really can't see, but they're buried in your document. So this is just, and this is another one, see? So this is why I would recommend copying and pasting your PDF onto a notepad, and then just giving it a quick eyeball and making sure that everything looks good again, all right, before you actually paste it into the description box, all right? This is why we're doing this, all right? So now that I've caught those, well, here, look, this is kind of, that looked broken. Again, you can correct this in the description box, but I just like to kind of be thorough and get as much of this stuff handled. I know that doesn't need, well, I'm going to leave that because I'm going to show you how to do that with the actual box. So that looks pretty good, okay? That looks pretty good. Take this extra space out there. Okay. And I hope you realize what I just did. What I did was I selected all the text from here that looked real pretty on this PDF, and I pasted it into a notepad because I knew that when I pasted it into the notepad, that was going to be kind of replicating, when I pasted it into the description. And I want to save time. I don't want to be doing this stuff all over again, right? So it took me a couple seconds to do that. I'm going to come down, separate that, and I think that that looks good. All right, now what I'm going to do is select from this notepad. All right, grab from this notepad. I'm going to copy. Now, let's talk about this box, this paste as text box, y'all. All right, by default, you're going to see this little box. I don't know if you see this little shadow around it, but that shadow is your enemy. That shadow is not your friend. All right, and let me show you why. Because if I have that shadow around and I paste my text, you might not be able to tell, but it's removing the spaces. Well, you can tell. It's taking all of the spaces out and a lot of the formatting out of that text, right? And that's what that box means. It means that there's not going to be any formatting that we add with the text that you paste into this description when you see this box around, this icon here. But when I take that off, okay, when I take that off, and I'm going to delete this out because it's not going to know until I paste it again, because this is a paste as text, right? So it's seeing what you paste into this field. Now when I paste, see the difference? See that? It kept my bolding. So now all I'm going to have to do, instead of spacing everything and doing everything over, I'm just going to have to put a couple spaces in. We're going to walk through now and do it. We're going to use our little formatting options. So what I'm going to do here is just put a space there, all right, just to separate that. I'm going to come down after this line. I'm going to hit enter and put one space there so I can separate that section, all right. I'm going to continue down. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to put a space. I'm going to hit enter one more time to remove that extra bullet. All right, because the first enter gave me another line with a bullet. The second enter removed that bullet altogether. And I'm going to continue down. Make sure I have all that on the same line. I'm going to hit enter one more time. And I'm going to check this. Now, these are actually headings that shouldn't have bullets, right? They should look like these. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to separate this one time from this list by hitting enter. All right. Then I'm going to select both spaces, both the bulleted space and the actual heading. And I'm going to hit my bullet list to remove the bullet from that. All right. And you see what that did? I'm going to hit enter one more time to create a new space, and I'm going to select this heading now, and I'm just going to unbullet that. And now if I wanted to, this is where you could use your indent increase or decrease, right? Because it remembered the formatting. If I want to bring these out a level on the experience, I could select these and I could decrease the indent, and it would bring them back out and make them the same level as this. Let's give it a try. See that? If I like this sub bullet for that, which I kind of like this sub bullet look for that, so I'm just going to go ahead and increase the indent and keep the sub bullets there. All right. Last but not least, we'll give this one more space just after that bulleted list. All right, and that should look pretty nice. And what I'm going to do is, all you need is 3 pieces of information to publish a job. So it's super quick. It's taking long because I'm running my mouth and I'm showing you how to do it. But, this could literally take seconds. Oh, some things that I see right here that I'm going to get rid of. I don't need these dashes because now I have these nice sub bullets. And before I didn't. So I had dashes. But now I have those nice sub bullets. So I'm going to take those out. And what would have made it easier, if I would have drug this down from the beginning and just showed you, you can make this page as big as you need to, all right? This looks pretty good. I'm going to come all the way back down and minimize this a little bit. I can make that as big as I need to or as small as I need to, but it looks good. All right, it looks good, and I could, go back and do more formatting, but that's good for now. All right, so next, let's go ahead and select the next thing that you need to have is an expiration date. That's the only thing, is that the 4 pieces of information that you need for a job, and you can post a job really quick, is you need to have this radio button selected, you need to have a title, you need to have a description, and you need to have an expiration date. That's all that a job really needs, all right? So let's go ahead and give it an expiration date. We're going to give it, say, just January 19th, all right? Closing time, let's say a closing time of 1 p.m. I'm just going to click on OK. All right. And now, this is something that's new. These are the job documents. So if you wanted to attach that actual PDF that we showed you in the beginning, then you could literally just go here, browse it from your wherever it is in your file, and then attach it. All right, so that's the actual original PDF right there. So if you don't want to put the whole thing up there, you want to say see PDF attached with the truncated version, then you can do that. All right, you can also say visit the website link here or something else to link them to an opportunity or somewhere else that's applicable. All right, and we'll see where that populates on the preview. You can add an application email address. This is where they're going to be sending the actual applications to the job to. So this is very important. All right, this is who's receiving the applications from PRA. All right, so it's very important to put a responsive email address here. And then last but definitely not least, the company details section will be a section that's actually remembered for you. So you don't have to keep doing it over and over. If you put your company name, it's going to remember that. If you put your website, it's going to remember that. If you put a tagline, it'll remember that. If you wanted to put a video, a company video, it would actually remember that, and it would put that on top of your job postings moving forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do that. We're going to put a video here. All right. And then last but not least, it's asking you if you want to upload a company logo, then you can upload a logo here. So you would just, click on this and go get your logo and upload it there. And again, this stuff's going to be remembered. So this will be posted on top of all of your jobs. This will be posted on the side of all of your jobs, and it'll remember your company name, your website will be included, your tagline. This would just be added with all of your jobs moving forward. So again, all of the options in the company details are remembered for you and stored for you. Then what you would want to do is hit the preview option. Now what we're seeing is a preview of the job that we just created. All right. And remember when I told you that it would be pretty much a one-to-one to what we were showing you on that PDF? That looks pretty nice, doesn't it? All right. So it's all there. It's laid out. Looks the same. You have a link to the actual PDF, right? Still there, or whatever job documents that you'd like to add. All right. You have a link to the website. All right. And then this is that company video link that we added, right? That might be describing or that might be promoting your company. So what I'm going to do is submit listing, because that looks pretty good to me. All right. And now what you can do is come down to your employer dashboard, and you'll be able to see that the ProRank Sales Operational Manager is pending approval. And as soon as we review and approve that, which will normally take 24 hours or less, then you will be notified via email and you will be able to view the project. And once your job is approved, you'll see that the link is now live. It's now live and it's no longer pending approval. And if we click on it, we can actually view that job. All right, we see it here live. Folks can apply for it. We go to the jobs and projects poster. We'll see that it's active. It's live here on top. Has our logo that we added, a link to it. All right, full-time employment. and it's here for the community to see. They can apply for it on either of these buttons. All right. And you'll see if they already have a resume on file, then they can actually submit a capability statement for it, or, a resume. They can choose from the resume or capability statements on file if they are responding and they already have that information. What I did was just hit escape to get out of that. And that's how you post a job on ProRank Academy. And last but not least, that job is now in our activity feed for the public to see. That job head is now added here, all right, for the entire ProRank community to see that job and to click on and respond to. And will also be here in the recent jobs until a more recent job, gets posted and pushes it down. It can be accessed directly from our activity feed this way, either directly here or, here on the side. And we hope that this has been helpful. Thanks for viewing. We'll be back with the next video that will show you how to post a project.